these deities like the Bhairav forms and Devi forms, and many of them will operate on a day-to-day basis. Namaskaram everyone. So this is the Dhyanalinga Yantra, and right next to it you can see this Bhairav Baba that is sitting over here. A while back I got the murti of Bhairava and I just wanted to share. Actually, I never really ended up doing that. I got this murti from Palitana, which is one of the biggest Tirtha sthals for the Shwetambar Jains. I am a Shwetambar Jain. And from there I got the murti of Nakoda Bhairava. Nakoda Bhairava is basically, Nakoda is a place in Rajasthan, and I have visited that twice now because it's extremely close to my Kul Devi, who is Osya Mata. Nakoda is special because it's one of the most popular Jain Bhairavas. These Bhairavas have been consecrated by a Jain Muni, so it is a Jain Bhairava in that context. I mean, in Nakoda there is the Nakoda Bhairava, who is basically the Shwet Bhairava, and it is he is located in the main temple right next to just outside the main Garbhagriha. And then of course there's Kaal Bhairava also, which is located a distance away, and Kaal Bhairava has his own shrine, and it's a pretty large shrine actually. These are some of the most popular Bhairavas, and even for non-Jains, a lot of they have a following. Even for a lot of Jains, they are considered very powerful, and the whole place is so prosperous, and you can almost feel that there is this whole power over them, and a lot of that is being attributed to the Nakoda Bhairava, which is the Shwet Bhairava. To know more about Shweta and Kaal Bhairava, I have a video around it. It is deeply ingrained into the Rajasthani ecosystem, and I have some theories on what exactly the Shweta Bhairava is indicating, but lately I also came across a different piece of information, and I have been wondering whether that is where this whole Shweta aspect becomes very powerful. But anyway, I won't go into it now. I will, if I find more material around that whole aspect, then I will put a new content. But so far, the Shweta and Kaal Bhairava story is something I have described in this other video. But so I basically have a Bhairav murti in this small form, and a lot of times I'm staying in a room, if I'm traveling, and I do carry it with me along with the Dhyanalinga Yantra. It works well for me so far. I feel that presence, and small things seem to be getting done, and I kind of feel a little bit of auspiciousness happening. So yeah, basically it stays in my room, the same place I'm sleeping and stuff. I had a little bit of a concern over there, but in general, Nakoda Bhairava, the Shweta Bhairava, is considered very, very friendly form, not the Ugra form so much, the more benevolent and very granting wishes sort of a form. So because there's a little bit of a concern, right, about keeping Bhairava in the house and especially in the room, I think what works for me is also the fact that I'm usually solo, so I'm pretty much living a brahmachari life actually. So in that sense, it's a little bit simpler because a lot of non-brahmachari aspects don't come in. And now I have a Bhairavi pendant as well. It does have an impact, is what I'm trying to say. There is a little bit of an impact. Like I'll tell you one time what happened is the way this was placed in the room. It's like when I'm sleeping, my legs are almost pointing towards this setup. That happened one time. It's not happening now. The point is, I got a very strong, almost a current in my feet, telling me like, "What the hell?" And so I was like, "Oh gosh, this is happening." I didn't realize it, and then I moved the whole thing so that it's not happening, and then it's better. So it's I would say very active. The Dhyanalinga Yantra might not have made me so aware because it's subtler, and like even Shiva or those very subtler forms, which are also very powerful, but they won't almost operate on your very day-to-day plane of existence. They will create a certain ambience, but they won't really get into the nitty-gritties. More like create a certain ambience towards the ultimate well-being. But these deities like the Bhairav forms and Devi forms, and many of them will operate on a day-to-day basis. allowing certain tasks to happen, removing certain frictions from life, and in this case, as I mentioned, a very specific input that what the hell. So that was very fantastic, and it was a very Bhairava kind of a feeling to just do like, what are you doing? Like that was fun, and it feels nice that I don't know whether to say a force or a being or what, but somebody is keeping check on you in that level. And yes, so there was definitely a feeling that things were getting a little bit fast forwarded because certain things were happening, which I may not have, which, there are certain things you keep in your mind and you feel you will do it, but you don't actually end up doing it. But that I think is happening, especially now that Bhairavi has also come as a necklace. I think pace of life is increasing. So I am giving some sadhana related consultations. So if you're interested, you can sign up for that. You can head to my website inspirituality.in. Namaskaram.